Howdy folks, it's Chris. Welcome back to Hawktown Camping. So I wanted to do something a little different today. I'm going to start a segment on the channel where I review gear, but I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to mainly focus on a certain company that I've got multiple pieces of gear from. And today I'm going to be working with FireMaple. As you can see, I've got several pieces of gear from FireMaple here on the table. And I'm going to go through each one, show you what all it does, and then later, once it gets a little dark, more like dusk maybe, I'm going to come back and show you what they do. So another thing I want to do is I'm going to call this segment the Step 2 review, because while I'm doing this, I'm going to be having a Step 2. So right now, I'll show you what each piece is and set it up so you can see. And then, like I say, later on, we'll put it to use. So first thing, what I've got here is my FireMaple orange lantern, although this one is black. The cool thing about FireMaple is a lot of their stuff comes in these little cases and pouches. And so, and I'm using a red camp pouch. That's a separate purchase. And also, I just want to let everybody know, none of this stuff is sponsored by FireMaple. This stuff was purchased with my own money, and I've tried it out with my own time. And so there's no sponsorship. So, like I say, this is the lantern. And also, along with the lantern, I've got this leather isobutane canister cover. And I keep it with the lantern because I think it looks really cool. And then it also has this little plastic stand that folds up. And it has a slot for two different sizes of canisters. And so I'm going to put this on here. And then we're going to unpack the lantern. Now, Toto, get in. So one thing that comes with the lantern is this little bitty vial that's got these tiny needles in it, and they're used to clean out the jet on the lantern. And this case is neat because it's like hard. It's a hard plastic, and it fits really well in there. It's a little loose inside the case, so you could probably wedge something in there to hold it in place, but I haven't had any problems with it yet. So let's set this up, and I'll show you what it looks like. And I actually used this all night on my little stealth camping video that I made a few weeks ago. And so this is it. And as you can see, it's tiny. You know, it's about that big. And it's got this little glass globe that you can take off, or when you put it on there, you can spin it around. And I think to light it, this is probably the best thing for it. Just this little long Bic lighter, but you stick it in there and light it. But like I said, I'm not going to light it right now because I want it to be a little darker so you can see it in action. Alrighty, but that's the lantern. Okay, the next thing I've got is this little backpacker stove here, and another little piece that goes with it. And so inside here, once again, another hard case. You got your, and this is called the Hornet. And I think it's titanium, but it just folds out like that. And you set it there. I'm going to actually rob the canister from the lantern. So I'm going to make sure it's off because it wasn't off when I put it on put the lantern on there. So as you can see, it's a tiny sucker, but a pot will set on it. In fact, I've got you covered there, because the next piece of gear I want to show you is also fire maple. And this is the, I want to think it's called the Arctica pot. And as you can see, it's a decent sized pot. Has a strainer dish slash steamer dish. And inside, of course, I've got another lighter. And then I'll get to this in a second. But as you can see, you know, it's a good sized pot. Got a bail and a fold out handle, and you can put them together so that it's a lot more sturdy. And so, you know, it fits on there. You can actually adjust those a little bit better so it's a little more stable. But see, it sits on there. All right. All right. So that's that. Another little item that I keep with this stove is this, and it's a fire maple adapter so that you can adapt all of these to use the Coleman propane bottles. And so let me show you that. All right. All right. So it just goes on there, set like that. Now, the only problem I have using it like this is it's a little top heavy. I think it could easily be knocked over. But spin it around there. There we go. But voila. And so put our pot on there. And like I say, that's a little too, honestly, that's a little too unstable for me. But it will work in a pinch. It would probably do better with like a skillet on there. So I'm gonna remove this. And we'll get to this next piece of gear here. Fold that back down and see, it just folds up so neatly. But go back over there. All right, now this is the last piece of gear I've got from Fire Maple. And I've used this stove on my camp out a couple weeks ago. And this is called the Blade 2. And this thing, I'm going to tell you right now, when I used it a few weeks ago, it worked well, very well. And, you know, it just screws on like that. Well, if I can get it on. It's a little bit, kind of, a little different to put on there. All right. So, just like that. And I do know that sets on there really well. And when I used this thing, I think it boiled almost 2 cups of water in like 3 minutes, if that. It might have been quicker, but it sets on there really well. And I keep this stove in this pan because it's just a perfect storage space for it. And then, of course, you turn it on right here. Like I say, we'll check that out later. So I'm going to go ahead and take this all apart and get it ready for later on. And like I say, while I show you how this stuff works, we'll have us a step 2 and go from there. See you then. Say hello to Toto. You've already saw him once. You might as well get acquainted. Alrighty, folks. Well, I'm back, and it's time to test some gear. But first, let's have a little step 2, get it going. So, right now I've got Angry Orchard, crisp apple. I love a good hard cider. And so got this Klein Tools bottle opener. I've had it forever. It's like my baby. So alrighty. So it's going to be dark here pretty quick, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the lantern. So like I say, this lantern, I ran it all night a couple weeks ago, and the canister still feels like it has a lot of propane in it, and can't beat that. So we're going to go ahead and light it. As you can see, it produces a lot of flame. Turn this thing down a little bit and then spin the glass, and there you go. And it's nice and windproof, and we really will go up pretty high, but there's no need to keep it that high. I used it about like this all night that night. Alrighty, so just a little bit more, not that much, just there we go. Alright, sorry, my neighbors have some sheep, so you're going to hear them in the video. Alright, so that's our lantern. Simple, and puts off a lot of light, a good amount of heat. You can warm your hands up around it, and yeah, like I say, I really like it. Alright, so let's start on the stoves. And so I went ahead and got some other canisters I've got. That way we're not having to switch around again. And what I'm going to do is boil some water and time how long it takes to do it. Unfold it here. It's kind of being temperamental with me. There we go. Alrighty. Move that over a little bit, and let's see here. We got our water, and I'm going to boil just a cup at a time, and then we'll time it. So, and we're not going to have this thing going like crazy 100 miles an hour or anything like that. Just a nice little even pace. Okay, so flip this around, get me a lighter. As you can see, it'll go up pretty high too. We're just going to put it right about there. Get our pot here, and I've already got a cup of water measured up, and get the phone ready so I can time it here. Let's see. Alrighty. And there we go. So back to this step 2. I've been drinking Angry Orchard for years. It's a really good cider, and they have several flavors that are just awesome. My favorite, and they only sell it around Christmas time, is like it's called Sinful Apple, and it's, you know, just a cinnamon. It almost tastes like apple pie to me, but it's really good. And so I really suggest trying it. But like I say, I really like fire maple. When I first got back into camping a couple years ago, I was looking around, and I'd never heard of a jet boil before, but I was seeing ads all over Facebook for those, and then I was seeing them for went on Amazon, I think, maybe, and was looking up jet boils, and I couldn't believe how expensive the things were. But then they started showing the fire maple, and so I went to their website, and they sell all kinds of gear, you know, mainly stoves and cooking stuff. They have a few other things. They have a thing I want to get. It's called it's like a folding fire pit grill, and I mean, it folds down insanely small, and you just have like a wire mesh screen that you set down on a rack, and then you can put your grill over that, and that's what holds your wood. Let's check on this water. So it's already starting to bubble, and I'm just, like I say, I've just got it on an even setting. It's not high by any means, and you know, it's steaming obviously, and we'll do this with both of the stoves. I want to see which one boils faster in a cup. Oh yeah, this thing's going to be done here pretty quick, and it's only at 220. So I'm sure if I wanted it to boil faster, I could turn it all the way up and it would boil a heck of a lot quicker. But so as you can see, we've had a lot of rain in the last couple weeks. I'd say close to 4 or 5 inches, and I've just mowed my yard about a week ago, and already you can't even tell. Oh yeah, we're boiling. Oh yeah, we're getting there. Just probably another 15 seconds, maybe 20, and it'll be good. But yeah, so lots to do here mowing wise. I've got like an acre and a half here, and my lawnmower's broke down, so it's gonna be a pain to get it mowed pretty quick, but hopefully in the next couple weeks. But right now we're at a decent little boil. It's bubbling inside there, and it's just a matter of seconds here before it's going to be a rolling boil. But I want to be real careful, because like I say, I don't like the way this pot sits on this stove. It's a little bit unstable. But have another step 2 drink. But like I say, fire maple, so far I really like it. It's been one of the better gear brands I've come across, and they're really inexpensive. Like I think this lantern was maybe 40 bucks, and then they're always having sales, and I think the stove here, it might have been, it was no more than 30, I don't think. Don't quote me on any of that. Oh yeah, we got a rolling boil now, so we're gonna go ahead and turn that thing off, pour the water out, and let that pot cool. And we're at about, I'd say about 425. Took 4 minutes 25 seconds. So let that thing set for a second, move this over and let it cool, and then I'll get this. Oh, that was a party foul. We're gonna have to move the camera. Stand by. Alrighty, let's try this again. So got everything moved to the other side of the table, and we're gonna hook this stove up now, and get it going. And like I told you earlier, when I used this one a few days ago, a couple weeks ago, I mean, it worked really good. Like I was saying, the Fire Maple brand, they're really good so far. I haven't had any issues with any of this stuff. It's worked perfectly. All right, there's our cup. Our pot should be ready to go. Nice and cool. Pour our water in. Alrighty, let's get our timer ready. Let's see here. Now this stove, it's a lot easier to use. See, and this flame here, well, I'm not lied to you. There we go. And you can turn this canister upside down. It's a little chilly out here, and I think that's causing some problems. But let's turn this thing off and set this can upside down here. And it's actually got like a preheating tube. Alrighty, and it's for this, and you just, alright, there we go. And as you say, it'll put out some heat. This is the canister I used for it the other day, and I didn't use very much of it, so I don't know, we'll see. But we're going to put the water on and start the timer. Here's Toto again. Alrighty, and so it's not nearly as unstable as the other one, thank God. I'm going to have some more step 2. Hopefully I don't spill it this time. But another brand I'm going to talk about another time that I've really enjoyed, and it's not really a brand of gear as much as it's like a subscription service, but you sign up for a monthly subscription, and they every month send you a box, and sometimes it might be one item, it might be 2 or 3 items, and you can kind of choose your theme. My theme is more camping and cocktails, drinking. I've received several cocktail kits and knives and gear, but like I say, I'm gonna just kind of tease you with it right there, and then when it comes time, I'll give you the full details about that coming. Let's check our water. Well, it's not going nearly as fast. There we go. Like I say, I think this canister got just a little bit too cold in the time it's been sitting here. But like I say, this here's Toto. He's our little buddy here. He just decided he wanted to be in the video, and so here he is. Curiosity definitely killed the cat, and this one is no different. One of these days, he's liable to find curiosity got the better of him, but hopefully not. He's a good cat. Aren't you, buddy? Alright, well, unfortunately we're at 2 minutes and 14 seconds on this one, and I'm afraid this is not going to be an accurate representation of how this boils, considering the issues that I had. But we'll see. Just so you can see how they work, and that they do work, and that, you know, you can work with them to get them to work when you need them to. But oh yeah, it's starting to get there now. It boiled a lot quicker the other night when I used it. Now these little pouches that I've got the gas canisters in, I got those off of Amazon for like 15 bucks for like 3 of them. One fits the big canister, one fits the smaller canister, and then one fits the butane bottles like you use with a Coleman stove. And they're neat. They've got little pockets and little loops you can put your Bic lighter in and stuff like that. All right, we got a rolling boil now, folks, at 325. So it actually, with the problems, it still boiled faster than the other stove. And not wanting to go out. Taking a second to go out. There we go. All right, so as you can see, they work good. It's just a matter of, let me turn that upside down so I don't burn the table here. It's just a matter of, you know, this is pretty cool. And then this canister might be getting low, I don't know. But I'm gonna pack this stuff up. And, well, first we'll let this thing cool a bit because it's gonna be pretty hot. But seems to still be a pretty good amount of fuel in there. But go ahead and start packing this stuff up here. So, like I say, I bought these little pouches to go with this stuff because I wanted to combine my kits together. And I want them all. I want to be able to just grab a pouch and take off. And eventually I'm going to grab a couple more of these. Funny thing is, I bought a backpacker stove from Walmart on Ozark Trail, and I didn't even realize it had one of these on it. I just assumed it went to a bottle of Coleman propane. All I could say is that was definitely a blonde moment. But like I say, I have those once in a while. But alrighty, well, I hope there was at least something you got something from this little review here. I know there's a lot of reviews for fire maple stuff on Yahoo, Amazon, YouTube, and but I kind of wanted to basically review what stuff I have so far of theirs. Like I say, I really like their stuff. It is awesome. And see, that's already cool. This is also titanium, I believe. And it just sort of, well, maybe not completely cool. No. I'm actually probably going to let this sit here for a few minutes and then I'll pack it up. But I appreciate everybody being here and listening to me blab on and watching me spill my cider everywhere. But until next time, keep camping.